Hello. In this topic, we will be looking at foundations. I have divided the topic into 3 segments just to make the material a little bit more manageable to download. Okay, the learning outcomes. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to define a foundation. You should be able to state the functions of foundations. You should be able to describe different types of foundations with the aid of illustrations, such as sketches or detailed drawings. And you should also be able to design a simple foundation, such as that for agricultural buildings, chicken houses, and other types of buildings of that nature. Okay, let's go into the definition. A structural foundation is that part of the building that fixes it into the ground or the soil. Foundations provide support for the main structures that appear above the soil level or the ground level. So we don't actually see foundations because they are buried in the ground, and they perform a vital function of supporting the rest of the building within the ground. The design and construction of foundations is done such that they can sustain as well as transmit loads of the building to the soil. Okay, that is one of the key reasons why we have foundations, to sustain building loads and to transmit those loads onto the soil, which is the bearing surface. This transfer of the load has to be carried out without resulting in any form of movement that can result in any form of instability in the building. Instability in the building will result in things like cracking or the building leaning to one side. So we design foundations such that the building is stable, is stabilized by the foundation. So let's look at the functions of foundations. I have listed 4 of them here, although you can do your own research to find out other types of functions that a foundation may perform, because designers of foundations may extend the features of foundations so that they function in other ways also. So for basic foundations, these are the 4. The first function is to distribute the load from other parts of the building onto the bearing surface. Remember, in the definition we are saying that a foundation transmits loads from the building onto the bearing surface. In transmitting that load, it must be distributed very often evenly on the bearing surface. So that is a major function of the foundation, and it allows us to stabilize the building through that distribution of the load. The second function is to maintain the building in a level and plumb position. So we design foundations such that the level surfaces or horizontal surfaces such as floors will remain horizontal, and the vertical surfaces such as walls or columns will remain vertical or plumb. The third function is to reduce settlement of the building, and we have said that the building is loaded and that load is transmitted to the soil through the foundations. So we expect some kind of movement, settlement of the building through the compression of that soil on which it is sitting. The foundations have to be designed such that that settlement is reduced as much as possible. You don't want a building to move too much after it is completed and it is in use. So one of the key functions of foundations is to reduce that movement. The fourth one is to provide a surface on which to build the rest of the structure, what we call the superstructure. Incidentally, foundations are also called substructures. So in designing a foundation, we make sure that there is sufficient surface on which we can build other items of the building, other elements such as walls, such as columns, or indeed anything else that we want to raise above ground level. Okay, I will stop here for this segment. I have provided you with the definition and the functions of foundations. Thank you.